Tonight, stay open. That's the message from locals who want the state to keep the Willow River Prison operational. We're live at a rally.
And expanding broadband. Rural communities in Minnesota could soon see better access to high-speed internet to help with distance learning.
Plus, donors needed. As blood supplies remain low, the Red Cross has a new way to entice people to donate.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Dozens have gathered near a Willow River prison, rallying to keep it open tonight.
Earlier this month, the State Corrections Department announced it would be closing its prisons in Willow River and Togo to help make up for a multi-million-dollar budget deficit.
CBS3's Natalie Grant joins us live from the Riverside Arena near that Willow River prison. Natalie, what are you hearing from the crowd tonight?
Tony, Kristen, as you can see, there is a quite large crowd out here tonight as they are gathering to hear many different speakers that are trying to save this program here at the Willow River Prison. Now, the prison is home to the Challenge Incarceration Program, also known as CIP, which is a structured and intensive program for inmates with the goal of rehabilitation and community justice. And they have done countless different things around not only the Willow River and Moose Lake community, but also the surrounding communities here in the Northland. Now, the program is expected to move when that facility closes, but the more than 50 people who work at the Willow River facility and the dozens more who are at Togo are expected to be laid off in consequence. Now, joining me now is going to be Paul Mickelson here. He is one of the rally organizers today and also a retired DOC supervisor and had a hand in starting the CIP program. So thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, of course. So when you think of the CIP program, what does it mean to you? Kind of what are the things that they've been doing in this community to keep it up and running?
Well, from its inception, it was one of those programs that was a dream because what we decided to do is to try to help our community through restorative justice, through restorative practices, yet have a highly structured, rigorous program with education, chemical dependency, COG skills. And that combination with the staff that work down there has found a lot of success with offenders not coming back to the community. So when you work in corrections as long as I have, you watch people, you watch the revolving door. People just go out and they come back in. This was the first program that I was assigned to and got involved with where I saw success, where guys changed their lives, where they became successful in the community, where they paid taxes. And it's an early release program too, so they were out far earlier than they were their sentence, so it saved the taxpayers a lot of money. So it was reforming and helping folks become better people. It was saving money for the Minnesota taxpayers, and it was making our communities a lot safer.
Wonderful. And what is the goal of this rally here today? What would look like a success for you from having these people come out listening to these speakers today?
The Challenge Incarceration Program in Willow River and Togo need to be fully funded. We need to be able to get these programs up and running. These are success stories. And when you're talking about corrections and prisons, that doesn't happen often. As a matter of fact, it's mostly the other way around. These people, the recidivism rate is far less than it is at a normal prison. So instead of a 70% turnaround, you get 30%. So 70% are succeeding and 30% are only coming back, which is amazing when you're talking about corrections.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, we'll have much more on this topic coming up tonight at 10, but for now, we'll send it right back to you in the studio. Tony, Kristen.
Natalie Grant in Willow River for us tonight. Thanks, Natalie.
Police say yesterday's shooting in Duluth's Central Hillside neighborhood was not a random incident, but they're still searching for a suspect. Police responded to the intersection of North 2nd Avenue West and West 3rd Street around noon. A victim who was shot in the abdomen suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Police are still investigating.
New tonight at 6, a Hibbing 18-year-old has been sentenced to 37 years in prison for her role in a 2019 murder on the Iron Range. Bailey French learned her fate in St. Louis County Court late this afternoon. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and kidnapping. It's in connection to the shooting death of Joshua LaValle along a snowmobile trail in January of 2019. 18-year-old Deshaun Bunnell allegedly pulled the trigger. He was sentenced to life in prison in October of 2019. French was allegedly with Bunnell, her boyfriend at the time of the shooting. Court documents indicate the shooting was allegedly over LaValle's actions toward French.
A Sawyer County man has been charged for alleged drug trafficking. Authorities made a traffic stop Wednesday afternoon. After searching the car, they arrested Calvin Riley of Webster. They found about 16 grams of heroin, a gun, a scale, and almost $2,000. The 29-year-old made his first court appearance today. Bail was set at $50,000. Also in Wisconsin, a semi-truck driver died when he veered off the road in rural Sawyer County. It happened around 10:20 Wednesday morning on State Highway 70 in the town of Draper, just east of Hayward. Clifford Hinkins of Coon Rapids, Minnesota, was heading east when the truck he was driving went into the ditch and eventually flipped. The crash is under investigation.
The Red Cliff Band has canceled all in-person events until further notice. They hope the move will help slow the spread of COVID-19. The cancellations include Red Cliff's annual Cultural Days, usually held in September. That event has been moved to next year.
All right, we're going to get our first look at the weather tonight. Dave, some spotty showers for a lot of people around the region today.
Yeah, the first half of our low pressure system brought 2 rounds of rain, one last evening, one this morning, but there's still 2 more to come. So let's go to the map of the upper Midwest, where we'll see a very slow moving low pressure system is still centered over North Dakota. Its warm front is feeling out the path of least resistance for the progression of said low, and that's what's been triggering the rounds of showers and storms we've seen so far. And the next round, well, I think it'll come tonight through tomorrow morning, may pack some severe weather. And then that cold front slices through tomorrow night into Saturday morning with a 4th round of potentially severe weather. As far as rain goes from these systems here, totals may not be that impressive. Maybe an inch or so from the Iron Ranges west, and less than that, a 1/10 to a 1/2 inch for the rest of us here. So it's probably not going to be as heavy as some of these past rains have been. Here's a quick look at our Friday day planner. Calm morning. Next chance of rain comes in the afternoon and the evening. And again, keep in mind, some could be severe, those storms. We'll talk about what's to follow by Saturday afternoon, though, in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. President Trump is scheduled to hit the campaign trail next week, making stops in both Minnesota and Wisconsin. According to the USA Today, Trump will be delivering speeches in Mankato, Minnesota, and Oshkosh, Wisconsin on Monday. The president will then head to Arizona on Tuesday and Pennsylvania on Thursday. The stops coincide with the start of the Democratic National Convention events in Milwaukee.
A Bad River Band member has been charged after a Christopher Columbus statue was torn down outside Minnesota State Capitol. Mike Forsha, an indigenous activist, was charged today with a felony count of criminal property damage. The lack of immediate charges after the June 10th incident angered state Republicans. They held an oversight hearing last month questioning state public safety officials on their response. Starting tomorrow, more than 300 law enforcement agencies will be working overtime to keep Minnesota roads safe. The Department of Public Safety's new Drive Sober, Drive Smart campaign aims to get impaired drivers off the road. While our stay-at-home order contributed to fewer DWIs in March and April compared to last year, arrests are now climbing. Drunk driving and alcohol-related injuries usually increase during the summer months as well. The director for the Office of Public Safety is encouraging Minnesotans to celebrate the end of summer with a sober ride.
With the need for blood donations at an all-time high, the Red Cross is offering an incentive to get more people to donate. Now, when someone donates through the Red Cross, their blood is tested for COVID antibodies. Results take about a week to get back, and it determines if you've been exposed to the virus. Before they can give blood, volunteers screen for COVID symptoms, donors answer a questionnaire, and have their temperature taken. For many volunteers, they're doing this just because they want to give back.
During this COVID epidemic, services are really needed, and if you can help somebody, that's what I'm trying to do, is just help wherever I can do that.
The Red Cross will be back at the Miller Hill Mall tomorrow. Appointment slots are full, but they're accepting a few walk-ins. For more information, head on over to our website.
The first nature-based preschool in West Duluth is still set to open this fall despite COVID-19 concerns. The Lake Superior Zoo first announced its plans to start a preschool last year. Zoo officials say they had to make some changes because of the pandemic. The preschool will provide 2 snacks, but they had to cut out breakfast and lunch, saying it was difficult to find a caterer to deliver during COVID. That means kids have to bring their own food. The preschool also had to cut down the number of children allowed to enroll, going from 18 to 10 to reduce exposure. Zoo officials say they're hoping to add more in the future.
What we're doing right now is trying to build a wait list so that if we're able to expand in the coming months to increase our enrollment, that we'll have those families ready to go and get them started right away.
The preschool's first day of class is September 8th.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3 Eye on Parenting. This week we take a deeper look at how the high cost of housing and high unemployment can lead families to double up and why that's a problem during the pandemic.
Temperature-wise, today was absolutely normal, 75, where we should be. By the end of the weekend, we'll go towards cooler than normal, but tomorrow temps could spike up and add fuel to the fire for thunderstorms. We'll talk about storm chances and temperature trends coming up after the break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live, local, CBS 3.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Today on Medical Insight, Dr. Ryan Greschel describes how Essentia Health is treating acid reflux with an innovative device called the Lynx Reflux Management System, which strengthens the lower part of the esophagus.
The way we were intended to be is that at the end of our esophagus, before the stomach starts, there is increased tone in the muscle there. We call that the lower esophageal sphincter. So a normal person has some increased tone right there that can relax to allow food to go through it into your stomach, but when you're not swallowing, it's designed to stay tight so that acid from your stomach is not refluxing up into your esophagus. So the Lynx device works by adding this ring of magnetic beads around that portion of the esophagus to provide some additional tone.
Surgery to implement a Lynx device is minimally invasive and lasts between 30 and 60 minutes. Recovery is swift as patients typically go home the same day and can immediately return to their normal diets.
Who's going to pursue some surgery for their GERD or surgical correction for GERD is generally patients that have severe symptoms and they're not getting the relief from the acid suppressive medications that they would like. After placement of a Lynx device, about 85% of patients will completely get off their acid suppressive medications. And as far as symptom control, many patients with GERD have heartburn or regurgitation or, pulmonary symptoms, but 99% of patients with a Lynx have no more regurgitation. So if they had regurgitation before, it's gone. 88% of the patients with heartburn no longer have heartburn after a Lynx is placed. So the symptom resolution is excellent.
For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
To learn more about this and other health topics, visit essentiahealth.org/medical insight.
Hi, I'm Steve Little with Bath Planet, your simple and affordable choice for bathtubs, showers, surrounds, and safety tubs. Right now, we are offering 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments until 2022, or get your dream bathroom for as little as $69 a month. This offer ends August 31st, so call us today or go online to book your appointment to take advantage of this amazing offer. Bath Planet. Out of this world service and down to earth price.
I like a new Playtime Zerba.
Don't wait for the moment.
I like a
you make the moment.
Time to go to work.
Then let's sing all your faces again.
Our future is now.
We're here to make it better. Frankly, we've never needed it more.
Look who just got here. Look who ruined my first take.
Good enough for me.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Duluth Casino. Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Cloud cover today gave us a wide variety of high temperatures just like yesterday. So we went anywhere from 69 by the lake in Grand Marais to 81 degrees down around Hayward, even 82 for Moose Lake, and the rest of us in between, whether the sunshine peaked out or the cloud cover was thick, blocking the solar radiation. Temperatures still trying to sort themselves out more towards the 80s indeed for tomorrow, and that will be fuel for the thunderstorm chance that is coming our way courtesy of a low pressure system that's taking its sweet time and getting through the area. Its front half, led by a warm front, has already brought 2 rounds of rain and there's a third coming after midnight here tonight probably, and then a fourth round coming tomorrow night. And these last two rounds are the ones that pack the chance for severe weather, which we'll talk about in just a bit. But here's a quick look at the current conditions at Duluth International. 72 is the temp, 81% for the relative humidity, easterly southeasterly wind going 11 miles per hour, and pressure holding steady at 30 inches even. Temperatures right now, well, still a bit of a range out there indeed. Upper 70s for the Upper Peninsula, lower 80s for much of northern Wisconsin, but we have cooler by the lake here at the head of the lake, 66 Park Point, 68 in Superior, and 72 in Proctor, two harbors as well. 82 degrees on the other side of the extreme for Moose Lake, 70, Silver Bay, 72, Ely, low 70s towards Hibbing, Chisholm, close to 80 Grand Rapids, mid-70s International Falls. So where the clouds are thicker, temperatures are lower. Where it's a little bit sunnier, temperatures are a little bit warmer. And again, that heat energy is going to help provide lift to aid and abet the low pressure system that's coming through. Doppler map right now shows things on the calmer side in our area. Just a few showers in parts of Minnesota, parts of the Upper Peninsula. Nothing overly violent now, and nothing really that major north of Fargo towards the border either. But from Koochiching and Itasca counties to the west, there is a severe thunderstorm watch going on right now, and that could pay off, especially in that neck of the woods, and a slight chance it'll spill into the rest of our area as the low pressure system continues to pass by. So around midnight tonight, well, folks in Minnesota get upwards of a 70% chance for storms, and around 2 o'clock in the morning gets into Wisconsin and the UP, 50% chance for potentially strong storms, and then it takes a break for a good portion of Friday. Friday during the day could be on the calmer side. Then the cold front part of the low. Friday night into Saturday morning brings another round of potentially strong storms. But then by Saturday afternoon, this high pressure system settling in brings back the sun and calms us down. In fact, our next rain chance after that may not come until next Thursday. Here's what's coming around tonight. Temperature-wise in Minnesota, look for the low temps to be in the 60s with that 70% chance of rain near midnight, a little bit before for some towns to the west, a little bit after to the east into Wisconsin, Michigan. There's the 50% chance for storms roughly around 2 o'clock in the morning. Low temps that side of the border in the 60s as well, so it's on the warmer side, and again, that's fuel for storms. And speak of warm, Wisconsin, Michigan, high temps go 80 to 85 tomorrow, leading to a 50-50 shot for afternoon and evening, potentially strong storms. The chance in Minnesota for that action is 60% for the afternoon and evening, with highs in the 80s inland, a little bit cooler by the lake. And so the next couple of nights will be rough. Keep an eye to the sky, please, as we track those storms for you. And then by Saturday afternoon, you can let down your guard a little bit and enjoy Sunday, which will be 75 and partly cloudy.
It's going to feel like fall on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Crisp mornings.
Dropping towards 70. Sign of things to come, Tony.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks, Dave.
The high cost of housing and high unemployment could lead families to double up. That means one or more families or multiple generations sharing a home or apartment.
It's a living arrangement with benefits, but there are risks as well, especially during the pandemic. CBS 3's Leanne Valdez explains in this week's Eye on Parenting.
Kelly Morris Larkin lives in a 4-bedroom home with her husband, 3 teenagers, and her 88-year-old father. The teens are following strict rules to isolate, but her father still goes out.
The other day he wanted to go to the grocery store, and I'm like, no, you can't, you just can't do that, Dad.
Sociologist Hope Harvey studies families and housing. Before the pandemic, she interviewed families who were doubling up for economic reasons. Childcare or elder care. Despite the benefits, many moms worried about drawbacks like reduced parenting authority, arguments on child rearing, and conflicting lifestyles.
Obviously, during a pandemic, you might not just be concerned about bad influences coming in. You might also be concerned about basically anyone coming in. If you have your teenage child living at home and they're going out and maybe seeing friends whenever you don't know about it, or their friends want to stop by the house and you're trying to control that.
Harvey says families who can alleviate some of the challenges by defining a portion of the physical space as their own and agreeing on rules for shared spaces, visitors, and right now, social isolation.
I think you have to respect each other.
Extra precautions as we adjust to our new normal.
Harvey says the rates of doubling up have increased over the past decade, and with the economic uncertainty caused by job loss during the pandemic, it's likely the number of families doubling up in the coming months will continue to increase.
Coming up in sports, a somber day for UMD athletics and fans. Kelly Hinseth has more on that right after the break.
Seize your new Can-Am from Duluth Lawn & Sports, the region's largest power sports dealer.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. The TED event is happening now, where you're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
At Lift Pro International, we have custom designed and fabricated lifting, weighing, and rigging solutions for more than 40 years. With a worldwide presence and reputation, we need world-class insurance to match. This is why we trust Cindy of Vernon Insurance to make sure we're fully covered no matter where in the world we're doing business.
Protect your home, vehicle, or business, and your peace of mind. Call Cindy at Vernon Insurance today.
Whatever your water worry, Culligan Water can help. From value-priced softeners to the world's best and even salt-free. No one has more solutions than Culligan to customize the best filtration for your home. The only water that comes with a van. Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. So celebrate this Labor Day knowing you look your best with Plexiderm. Lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video that the viewers can watch while you and I talk. And you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. And I did this to my father. We were at home and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It feels great. Looks even better.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing or just when you want to like get rid of the bags? And
Yeah, it absolutely could be a daily thing. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
And this Labor Day is the best time to try Plexiderm for $14.95. See it work for yourself after your first application. Just visit plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
The 2020 summer clearance event at Duluth Dodge just got better. New Renegade Trailhawks from $198 a month. Cherokee Limiteds from $248. Grand Cherokee Laredos from $288. Only at the new Duluth Dodge, 4755 Miller Trunk Highway, or DuluthDodgeMinnesota.com.
Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS3.
Truly a somber day for all involved with UMD athletics. The NSIC announced today that all fall and winter sports in the conference have been canceled through the end of the year. CBS3's Ryan Campo joins us live from UMD's campus. He spoke with UMD's athletic director today and has more on what this decision means. Ryan?
Yeah, Kelly, good evening to you. Stadium venues like Molosky Stadium behind me and many others across the Midwest are going to be very quiet come this fall. In a statement, the conference says that health and safety concerns prevailed in the league's decision, adding that current recommendations for testing, exposure, and quarantine would make it hard to conduct a successful season. The NSIC Board of Directors reached the decision in light of the NCAA Board of Governors' decision to cancel fall championships. The NSIC had originally postponed the start date of fall sports, but health and safety concerns prevailed in the league's decision. For UMD, this impacts football, volleyball, women's soccer, and cross country, as well as the start of winter sports like men's and women's basketball and indoor track and field.
I think there was a sense that this was coming, but it certainly becomes much more real when you do get that news. And then the coaches did a great job of communicating that to their athletes. They've spent the day supporting the great young men and women we have, and I'm really proud of how they've handled it.
The NSIC announcement does not impact UMD men's and women's hockey, which play in the NCHC and WCHA respectively. Still no decision yet on if either will have a season. Now, Kelly, the NSIC is currently exploring if they can arrange for fall sports to be played in the spring of 2021.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Certainly not the news we all wanted when it comes to fall sports. Thank you. Well, the last time I talked with UMD forward Jade Miller, I asked the recent grad what the future held. He simply said, "I'd like to keep playing hockey," and it seems like that desire is going to be fulfilled. Today, the Minto, North Dakota native became the 7th Bulldog this year to turn pro, also rounding out the senior class of 4 that have also inked professional deals. The versatile forward signed a deal with the South Carolina Stingrays, which is the ECHL affiliate of the Washington Capitals. The 25-year-old North Dakota native won 2 national championships in his time at UMD. He appeared in 127 games, tallying 34 points, 9 of them were goals. Miller was also a recipient of the Pat Francisco Community Service Award for his community involvement and service the past 4 years. Well, it's been nearly 5 years since the Duluth City Council elected to rename the softball fields outside of Wade Stadium as Swanson Fields. But finally, today, the longtime Duluth Denfeld softball coach was honored. Surrounded by players, friends, and family, Swanson removed the tarp to unveil the new signage at Swanson Fields. As you can imagine, Coach was appreciative of this honor and says he hopes he can enjoy the fields in the near future.
It's a really nice honor, and I can't honestly say I can quite exactly put it into words, but when you actually see the signage, then you know it's for real. And I just, I hope it's not the end of my coaching days. I just want to be able to enjoy these fields and players as long as I can.
Let's hope so. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We'll have more back here tonight at 10. Kristen and Tony, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Well, older cars can go for quite a lot of money.
They sure can. And now a Ferrari holds the record for the most expensive car ever sold online. The bidding soared up until the very last minute for this sandy white 1966 Ferrari 275 GTB. It ended up going for a record-breaking $3.8 million in an auction that ended on August 7th. I heard Dave was the highest bidder on that one. The car has its original interior and a lot of the original paint. Since the beginning of the pandemic, auction houses around the world have sold more than $70 million worth of classic and collectible cars online.
Dave, you taking us for a cruise then?
My bid of $3,800 was shot down pretty quickly. A Ferrari would be kind of fun, but I am saving up for a Dodge Challenger. Maybe that'll happen within 10 years. I don't know. Quick look at the 7-day forecast. Stormy period tonight through Friday night, but things should wrap up and calm down Saturday into Sunday.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you again at 10 o'clock.